You know what's so funny? Yesterday I had something that happen, right? And I wanted something so bad. And it didn't happen. And I'm learning something new this week. It's called radical acceptance. And then you have to put another skill on top of it. And that means to back away from the situation and not look at it for 24 hours. The book says 3, but they said we can go for 24 hours before we have to come back and look at it. Well, I went for 8. Because it requires you to come back and look at it from a fresh set of eyes. That means you got to go away. You're not thinking about it, but you go and talk to God or what you want to call a higher power, and you take time for yourself. You don't think about that problem no more. Actually, you start looking at yourself and your growth model and other things you have going on in your life. And let's just say that you was trying to grow your hair. So instead of being concerned about this over here that you wanted, you would go and say, okay, well, let me go ahead and get the shampoo. Let me get the deep conditioner. Let me wash my hair. Let me deep condition my hair for maybe 30 minutes. And then you say, you know what? I got time. So let's go ahead and deep condition it for at least 45 minutes to an hour. So you deep condition your hair for 30 minutes to 30 minutes to 45 minutes, right? 45 minutes to an hour. You're taking that time, you're praying, and you're having a language. You're taking that time, you're being with yourself, right? You're not messing with nobody else. You're just being with yourself. You're talking to God. You actually put your mind on something else, right? And you're just so happy. You're just talking about, oh, my hair is just so beautiful. Oh, my skin, look at my skin. It's so glorious. It's glowing. Oh my God, look at my skin. And so you begin to, say confessions. And I was like, I feel. And I was like, and I'm feeling good. And started acting crazy, just dancing in the mirror and just being silly because I needed to go to a different place. And sometimes we need to go to a different place. We don't need to stay in what we know. Because what we know is not good enough sometimes. We know what we know, but sometimes you have to come out of what you know to be what you don't know. I know that sounded like a crazy moment, but when you're walking with God, you have to step out of what you know to go to what you don't know. And what that requires sometimes is you making yourself happy. You doing something to make yourself smile. Especially when he places you in a situation to where it's just you and him. And so what that requires you to do is relook at everything that makes you happy. Because the way this has been going, every 6 months, everything changes. The one thing that does stay is flowers and chocolates. And writing myself a letter or buying myself a card and putting my name on it and pretending like I didn't do it. Or there's one even better that I do. I buy the card, right? I know this sounds crazy. I buy the card. I don't put a name on the receiver. No, I put God as the person that's sending it. And then I write something long in the card, right? Then I put a stamp on it. I know this is extra, but this is what I do for me. And then I put a stamp on it, and then it comes in the mail to the house. So sometimes it takes about a day or two. So then I get it a day or two late. By that time, I'm on something else, doing something with God. Because, God is always moving. He's always moving. He always got you doing something. So you always going with him, right? So that little 99-cent card I wasn't thinking about, it comes in the mail. And then I read it. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then I'm crying. Because I wrote something that I was feeling in that moment. Because see, everything is supposed to be moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. And so how I was feeling in that moment, I wrote that card. Then when I receive it, I'm already in another moment. I may be 5 to 6 moments up the road. And then I read that letter from me to me. And I cry so hard. You know why I cry so hard? Because I'm like, I didn't know that God had a breakthrough. or he had another way for me to get around that problem. I only saw it this way. But see, as humans, we only see it A and B, when God has a V, W, X, Y, and Z. But we don't see that because we only see our route, and we only see the other routes that we've seen other people take. But God is always having another route. So maybe that might be what someone needs to do. Get you a card, go to the Dollar Tree, get you a card, put you a little stamp on it, write in the card what you need to hear. It's going to take a day or two for it to get to you. Don't think about that card. See, this is the rule. In radical acceptance, you can't think about what you were thinking about. So you have to say it is what it is and let it go. And then when you let it go, you have to put something else on top of it. It's called stacking. So now you got to push away from it. You can't think about it no more. That's another skill. The next skill you have to do is self-soothing. Self-soothing is buying a car, doing that. Then you have to, oh my God, I hope I do not cry. I went to the park. This is something that is so dear to me. I went to the park and I got on a swing. And the little girl in me was so happy. I know it seems so trivial. A woman is 51, sitting here crying about getting on the swings. But I didn't have anyone rushing me. I just swung on the swings and just swung there and just swung there. And I was so happy. That was my self-soothing. I made myself happy. I took some time for me. I didn't care what else was going on in the world, because when I take that time for me, guess what? It is healing the world. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Guess what? Because when I heal, the whole world heals. And in that moment, I felt myself cry on the swing. And instead of wiping off the tears and pretending like I wasn't doing it, I allowed the tears to just come down. I felt the emotions. And I said, we're going to do this again. But when, I don't know. Whew. Alchemizing something. So I don't know when, but I'm going to do that again because it opened my heart on such a deep level. Just some swings. But when your childhood wasn't the best, and a lot of it was taken, and you had to be a grown-up and begin to be a mother when you should have been a child at 7, reclaiming that little piece of joy and being in a park with no one around and just having God there, the angels, excuse me, the Cardinals were there, a blue jay showed up. It's hard to see a blue jay. And I forget I forget the bird that it's called, but they were there, and the squirrels were there, and the squirrels was watching me swing. And that made me cry even harder. I'm just saying, sometimes healing isn't working so hard. Sometimes it could be just doing something you haven't done in a long time, such as getting on the swings or get on the monkey bars or just being in the park and hugging a tree. Healing is so many different things. Don't label what is healing because what someone else says. Find out what it means to be you. Love you. Have a great day.